If you've been told fruit is just sugar, you're not getting the full story. Some fruits really do hit your bloodstream like sugar water, but others behave completely differently, giving seniors smoother glucose curves, fewer post-meal spikes, and more stable energy. Today, we're counting down 5 fruits proven in research to support healthier blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and improve how your body responds to insulin, and we'll keep it simple. The best times to eat them, how much to eat, and the easy pairings that make them even more effective. Let's start with a juicy favorite that tastes like a treat, but acts like steady fuel instead of a sugar rush. Plums are one of those fruits that look and taste indulgent, yet don't hit your body the way a sugary snack does. The reason lies in how whole plums are built. They carry water, soluble and insoluble fiber, and a gentle sugar alcohol called sorbitol. Together, these slow how fast the carbs leave your stomach and reach your bloodstream. When digestion takes its time, your blood sugar rise is smaller and smoother, even though your taste buds read sweet. Many seniors skip plums because they worry they're too sugary. That fear makes sense if you're thinking about juice or dried fruit, but a whole plum doesn't act like sugar water. The glycemic load is low to moderate for a typical serving because the skin and flesh add friction to digestion. Think of a whole plum as a slow-release log on a fire. It burns longer and steadier. Plum juice? That's kindling, fast to ignite and gone too soon. Keep the fruit intact and you keep the brake on the rise. There's more working for you than fiber alone. Stone fruits, including plums, contain polyphenols like chlorogenic acids and anthocyanins. Research links these compounds to better insulin sensitivity, calmer inflammation, and less oxidative stress. In practical terms, that support helps your enzymes work a bit slower on carbs and helps insulin signal more effectively so your cells pull glucose out of the blood and put it to work. Try a simple breakfast swap to see the effect. Slice one medium plum into cottage cheese instead of reaching for a plain roll. The protein in the dairy plus the fiber and sorbitol in the plum flatten the curve so you avoid the quick rise and crash. You still get sweetness, but your energy lasts through the late morning. If you prefer yogurt, the same idea applies. Stir in plum slices, add a few chopped walnuts, and you've got a steadier start. Another helper inside plums is sorbitol, along with organic acids. These can slow gastric emptying, which is a scientific way of saying food moves out of your stomach at a calmer pace. When that happens, the glucose trickles in rather than rushing, and your after-meal readings often look gentler. That slower trickle also helps you feel satisfied, so you graze less and keep your afternoon focus. A practical serving is one medium plum, about 100 grams, eaten with a meal. Pair it with nuts, yogurt, cottage cheese, or eggs to blunt spikes even further. Fresh or frozen slices fit into parfaits, oatmeal, or a light dessert with a spoon of ricotta. If your stomach is sensitive, start with half and build up. And if you're looking for even more fiber with that same steadying effect, the next pick turns up the dial without turning up the spike. What if one fruit delivers so much fiber that half a portion is a smart start? Guava does exactly that. It's dense with fiber and water, and it packs more vitamin C than most supplements provide in a day. That mix helps slow how quickly sugars enter your bloodstream, giving guava a low to moderate glycemic load. The result is steadier energy rather than a sudden rise and drop, which is helpful if you monitor after-meal numbers. There's a catch worth noting. Guava's fiber can be a lot at once for some seniors. If your stomach gets gassy or you're prone to constipation, a large serving right away may feel rough. Start smaller, let your gut adjust, and drink water with it. The trade-off is worth it. Fiber cushions digestion, and vitamin C supports immune health and wound healing, which matters if you're older and want to stay active without setbacks. Think about a gentle ramp versus a steep hill. Guava helps your body take the ramp by slowing carb absorption through its fiber matrix. That means a calmer rise in blood sugar. It also helps you feel satisfied after meals, so you're less likely to graze through the afternoon. If you've been told fruit is sugar, here's the twist. In guava, the sugars are locked in plant scaffolding, so they release slowly instead of flooding in. Research adds helpful context. In animal models, red guava has improved insulin resistance, lowered inflammatory markers, and eased oxidative stress. Some findings even suggest kidney protection under diabetic stress. In people, small trials have linked guava fruit to better lipids and blood pressure, with the peel influencing those effects. The practical takeaway is straightforward. Guava supports steadier blood sugar and calmer metabolism over time. Here's an easy plate you can try tomorrow morning. Half a guava, diced over Greek yogurt with a few walnuts. You get protein, healthy fats, and fiber in one bowl, which steadies energy for chores and errands. If chewing is a concern, mash ripe guava into a soft base like cottage cheese. The texture is friendly, and the pairing helps flatten the glucose curve. The fiber and polyphenols in guava also talk to your gut. They feed helpful microbes and influence signals tied to insulin sensitivity and inflammation. That's a quiet daily nudge in the right direction. To keep it practical, use a small start and check your readings 2 hours after meals. If your numbers look stable and your stomach feels fine, increase to a full portion. Aim for 1 medium guava, about 100 grams each day. If you're sensitive, begin with half. Eat it with meals and pair with yogurt, cottage cheese, or a few almonds. Fresh guava works when you find it. Frozen puree blends smoothly into a yogurt-based smoothie year-round. Keep that same strategy in mind at breakfast. There's a small, tangy option that can smooth a cereal surge when you include it with the bowl. One small fruit can turn a blood sugar surge into a smoother hill. What's the trick? Kiwi, green or gold, carries a lot of water and natural fiber, plus organic acids and polyphenols that slow how fast carbs move from stomach to bloodstream. That slower emptying and gentler uptake mean the sugars in kiwi enter at a calmer pace, which helps steady your after-meal readings. Many seniors skip fruit at breakfast to avoid spikes. Here's the twist. When you eat kiwi with carbs, you often see a lower rise than with the carbs alone. Think of oats plus kiwi as a slow-release combo. The fruit acts like a built-in brake on fast carbs, easing the first 60 to 120 minutes after you eat. You still get sweetness, hydration, and a bright flavor without the hard peak that leaves you dragging later. Trials back this up. In randomized work, replacing part of morning cereal or bread with about 100 grams of kiwi fruit, roughly 1 medium fruit, reduced post-meal glucose compared with the grain alone. Timing matters too. Eating kiwi at the same time as bread, or about 30 minutes before, still suppressed the peak. One study with gold kiwi showed meaningful drops in the maximum rise whether the peel was on or off, and whether the fruit was eaten with bread or used as a preload. Let's make it real. 2 bowls on the table. One is plain cornflakes. The other is cornflakes topped with 1 sliced kiwi, about 100 grams, and a spoon of plain yogurt. The second bowl rides lower and steadier. You trimmed some starch, added fiber and water, and included a little protein to slow things down further. The result is longer energy for your morning routine. About the peel, the skin adds extra polyphenols, but research found similar glucose effects with or without it. That gives you flexibility. If the texture throws you off, peel it. If you like the mild tartness, wash and keep it on. Either way, you still get the main benefits from the fruit's fiber and organic acids, which help slow gastric emptying and moderate the rate sugars enter your bloodstream. Kiwi also helps you stay full. Its fiber and water increase volume without heavy calories, and the vitamin C supports daily energy needs. That fullness often cuts the urge to snack soon after breakfast, which helps keep your day more even. Here's the takeaway you can use today. Have 1 medium kiwi, about 100 grams, with breakfast or lunch. For best results, replace part of the starchy portion rather than stacking kiwi on top. Pair it with yogurt, cottage cheese, or a small handful of nuts to flatten the curve a bit more. Fresh or frozen kiwi cubes blend well into a smoothie, especially when you balance them with a protein base. If you're open to a tart, ruby red option next. A small handful can add antioxidant support while keeping the rise in check. Can a tart ruby red handful help your body handle carbs better? Pomegranate Arils can. They're loaded with polyphenols, punicalagin and ellagic acid that act as antioxidants and quiet low-grade inflammation. That matters because oxidative stress and chronic inflammation make insulin work harder. When those are dialed down, your cells respond to insulin more efficiently, and post-meal numbers tend to be calmer. There's an important update on juice. Research in people with impaired fasting glucose and type 2 diabetes shows that fresh pomegranate juice at about 1.5 milliliters per kilogram of body weight, roughly 100 to 200 milliliters for most seniors, can produce anti-hyperglycemic effects. In other words, small servings of 100% juice taken with meals have helped lower post-meal glucose rather than push it higher. Keep the portion modest and pair it with protein or healthy fat, and you capture the benefits while maintaining a gentle curve. Arils have their own advantages. They carry a bit of fiber along with polyphenols, which slows the rise compared to juice alone. The seeds add crunch and volume, helping you feel satisfied with less. If you like flexibility, frozen Arils are budget-friendly and ready year-round, so you can keep a bag in the freezer and add what you need without waste. Think of Arils as tiny shields. They help buffer oxidative stress, which chips away at insulin sensitivity over time. In people with diabetes who drank pomegranate juice, markers of oxidative stress dropped sharply. Serum lipid peroxides fell by 56%, T-bars by 28%, while antioxidant defenses rose, serum SH groups up 12% and PION-1 activity up 24%. Those shifts suggest your internal rust is reduced and your cleanup systems are stronger, which supports steadier metabolism. Under the hood, these polyphenols touch pathways that matter for insulin action. They tend to dampen NF-kappa B, a switch tied to inflammation, and nudge PPAR gamma, which helps cells use glucose more effectively. Even when fasting glucose doesn't change much in some trials, these cardiometabolic signals point in a helpful direction. Over weeks, that can translate to easier post-meal control and better energy. You can put that to work with simple meals. A small sprinkle over a feta and walnut salad brings tang, crunch, and a smoother rise because the cheese and nuts slow digestion. Stir Arils into plain yogurt for a quick dessert that doesn't hit like candy. Mix a spoonful into oatmeal you've already fortified with nuts or seeds. Each of these keeps the portion modest and uses protein or healthy fat to blunt the curve. Portion and timing are your levers. Use 1/4 to 1/2 cup of Arils with a meal. If you prefer liquid, keep 100 to 200 milliliters of 100% juice and always pair it with yogurt, cottage cheese, eggs, or a handful of nuts. Keep this habit steady for a few weeks and check your meter 2 hours after meals to see your pattern. If you're looking for a dark, fiber-rich fruit that leans hard on anthocyanins and fullness next, you're about to see how it supports calm, steady numbers. What if the darkest berries quietly coach your body toward better insulin sensitivity? Blackberries fit that role well. They're naturally high in fiber and water, and they're rich in anthocyanins, the pigments that give them their deep color. That mix supports gut health and helps smooth your blood sugar levels after meals. Fiber slows how fast sugars are absorbed, while berry polyphenols offer antioxidant support that helps you handle carbs more steadily. The sweet taste can be misleading. You might expect a sharp rise, but whole blackberries often lead to flatter curves than refined snacks like crackers or cookies. They arrive with built-in breaks, seeds and flesh that make your digestive tract take its time. This slower pace helps you avoid the quick spike and crash that can sap afternoon energy and push you to keep snacking. Think of blackberries as tiny sponges. Their fiber holds water and adds bulk to the meal, which helps slow the rate at which the stomach empties. As the carbohydrates release more gradually, you get a longer, steadier trickle of energy instead of a flood. That steady trickle supports better focus and keeps you moving through tasks without the usual slump. Research on berries in general points in a helpful direction. Berry-rich diets are linked to improved antioxidant status and calmer inflammatory signals, both of which support metabolic health. While findings vary by study and berry type, The overall pattern suggests that regularly including berries can make post-meal responses easier to manage alongside other healthy habits. Put this into a simple habit. Try an afternoon swap, 1 cup of blackberries with cottage cheese instead of crackers. The protein and fat from the dairy combined with the berry fiber produce a calm, steady curve. You feel satisfied, and your next meal arrives without urgent hunger. If you prefer something dairy-free, pair blackberries with a small handful of nuts for a similar effect. Anthocyanins likely contribute beyond fiber alone. In berries, these compounds may gently influence enzymes that break down carbohydrates and support a friendlier gut environment. Presenting them this way stays within what's known while keeping the focus practical. Eat the whole fruit, keep portions reasonable, and pair with protein or healthy fat to steady the rise. Berries offer satisfying volume and hydration with fewer digestible carbs than many snacks. That means you fill your bowl, not your glucose curve. Serve 1 cup, about 150 grams, daily, fresh or frozen, paired with yogurt, cottage cheese, or a small handful of nuts. And since nuts show up again and again as one of the simplest ways to steady a meal, it's worth knowing which ones truly help and which ones quietly work against your blood sugar. Most seniors are surprised to learn that a couple of popular nuts, the kind people snack on without thinking, can undo the very benefits you get from the fruits we covered today. So before you pick your next snack or topping, watch the video now on your screen. In it, you'll see the 4 nuts that actually help stabilize blood sugar when you add them to fruits, oats, or yogurt, and the 2 common choices that can quietly reverse the progress you've just made.